Hey guys, Val here. What this episode is kind of a snapshot of how we're dealing. This was recorded March 20th, 2020. Obviously, a lot of things have changed since then. So just treat this as a snapshot of how we were doing it when we were initially in the process of shutting down. Things have changed for me. I am now working full-time from home. They told my butt to stay home. Yeah, there's no need for me to go in the office, but we do realize we are privileged in the fact that we are able to work from home. We hope those of you who aren't can find ways of making it through. It's tough out there. We understand this. If you're not into all the coronavirus talk and you've had enough, you're saturated, maybe skip this episode. We did do the emoji contest at the very end of this, and I'll timestamp that. If you guys want to hear it and skip all the COVID talk, I'll put that in the episode notes and the show notes. And yes, we do have chapter episodes. We did record them. We recorded the last 2 chapters of Shadow of Night, and we completed that. So you'll hear that next time. And for those of you who follow us on Patreon, you will get a portion of this recording, the pre-portion. We kind of made like a 2-hour-long recording, and then we split it in 2. The public show is getting the end portion, and you guys aren't getting an after show. You're getting kind of a pre-show. So that'll be next week for you patrons out there. And thank you for what you do for us. Well, here's the episode. So, hey, you guys, this is our check-in episode. We're checking in with all of you and each other and making sure we're okay.
Yeah. We're getting our blanket fort tent going. Get your flashlight so you can hold it up to your face under your chin when you speak.
We can tell ghost stories that way.
Yeah, time to get those easy bake oven brownies.
Oh, yummy.
On the light bulb.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be one of those.
So we should probably tell the audience where we're at. It is March 20th, 2020. Mm-hmm. And New York has just shut down.
Just announced that they're shutting down.
Yeah. So to put us on the timeline, I am working part-time from home. Jean, what are you doing?
Here in Texas, they have they're doing things piecemeal here because the governor is kind of being a wuss about it and leaving it to the municipalities. Dallas has closed all restaurants, bars, health clubs, blah, blah, blah. No gatherings more than 10. Fort Worth finally just followed suit. Houston and I think San Antonio is the furthest along, but we're waiting right now for them to shut us down here in North Texas and all of Texas, actually, like they have in California and New York. But it's taking some time because it's still spring break down at South Padre Island. So my office is technically still open. They're still trying to make sure they've got full capability so everyone can work remotely.
Right.
I'm working remotely as much as I can. Alan's still going into the hospital. They're still doing outpatient surgery there. Mm-hmm. His hospital in California is currently not using locum tenens, so they don't have any of their folks coming back and forth right now because all they're doing is essential surgery and all elective cases have been canceled. And this is in Central California. So
didn't California just shut down?
Yep, they did.
Yep.
Totally. Yep. LA and San Francisco first, and then the whole state did yesterday. Yeah. I think it was yesterday.
I think. Around you, Angela, how about you?
I'm working from home. 100% of my department is working from home. Brad's now working from home, and that's the wave of thing that's happening, that people are working from home. In fact, one of his colleagues tried to set up working from home today, and she found out that out of her 4 computers, there was spyware on all of them, so she couldn't remote into her desktop. Our firm won't allow it, so she went to Best Buy to get a computer, and there were none.
Yeah.
Oh, wow! Is there
Windows
any way
machines,
they
huh?
Can it clear any of her computers?
They can't for her. She'd have to do it on her own. So I don't know. I looked online. I immediately went online into Best Buy to see if there were Macs there, and there were plenty of Macs. So maybe she's not a Mac person, but even Brad, who is not, we have the laptop and the desktop Macs, but even he isn't. He's doing fine working on the other one, but he isn't that well versed in Macs. And even he's like, just get a Mac and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, if all she's using the Mac to do is remote into whatever the platform is at the office, it's like, all she has, it's not like it's going to translate her desktop at her desk into something else.
No, exactly.
No, it's basically a browser.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All you're doing is using the portal.
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, yes, I do use Mac products, or Apple products, but I know I would rather get a Mac laptop or desktop than get some little flimsy $300 laptop that's there sitting there.
Because it's the last
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my computer is 6 years old. So my laptop is maybe 4 years old.
Yeah.
Works fine.
Yeah.
Works fine. You just have to get used to it. That's all. But no, I have a Windows computer that's been pretty much, the DoD goes through it first. Then they load the software. Then it's got to go through security protocols. So what used to be a speedy little computer is now slowed down and bogged down by the government software.
Oh, God.
So that's what I take home to do, like mapping and stuff. But most of the time, most of the things, all my communications go through my desktop computer, which is a Mac. So I just, just do it that way. But I was telling Jean earlier, the only reason why I do go into work, and my office is like normally an office of 2, but my office partner said, "Fuck this shit,
I'm out."
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
So that leaves me, the younger person, not that much younger, but younger person, to go in and get our SIPRNet messages, which is like this top secret thing that you have to, go into this room and leave your cell phone outside and download and read all the messages that you get, and then, translate that into what you're doing. And then I take that information and bring it home to my mapping.
My mom was a civilian worker in the Air National Guard when we were growing up, and she had not the clearance anywhere near you had, but she could read messages, and we'd beg her, "Mom, just tell us one, please." And she's like, "No, negative."
No, bro.
We would beg her all the time. No.
Yeah. No.
Like, we didn't care what it was. Like, just tell us one. You can make up one.
Tell us a bedtime story, Mom.
Story time back then.
And the thing is, with these messages, it's like, you think it's like, oh, the government secrets. No, it's like these obscure little codes that you just get a portion of it. So, like, even if someone were to spy on you, they wouldn't even know what they're looking at.
It's not that exciting.
It's just like they just give you as much as you need to know. And when you download it and look at it, you're like, yeah, that doesn't mean shit to me, but okay, I'll take it and plug it into the computer. So it's not that, oh, I got all the secrets. What they do is they pretty much give a lot of people a little piece.
Yeah.
And once we plug in our little piece, it's supposed to make sense in the wider picture. So that's all it is. And it makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't tell somebody a whole secret and trust them. You just give them a little piece, what they need to know.
Speaking of, I don't mean to pivot too abruptly, but I just got done watching McMillions, and I knew this story because I had read it in the New York Times, but it's about from 1987 to 2001-ish or so, about the McDonald's Monopoly game, how it was so built around fraud.
Oh, shit.
It was so good. But I had already, like I said, I already known the story because I'd read a super long article in the New York Times about 5 years ago. And now they've made it into the documentary. They interview the FBI agents. They interview the players.
Oh, wow.
And it's an unbelievable story of how it happened. I won't even give anything away of how this fraud was allowed to occur. McDonald's wasn't knowingly doing it, so that's not what the issue was. It was the people that were involved in different levels of the game that the fraud happened. But the real people and the real players are like out of a Guy Ritchie or a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, I mean,
what?
Yeah, every single person that they moved to, you're like, this person is for real. OMG. You got to watch it. It's really good. It's like,
where's
Netflix.
it at?
Yeah.
Netflix.
Wow. Okay.
McMillions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that'll give me something to do tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the mob is involved. Regular people are involved. There's advertising agencies, PR firms, the FBI. The FBI agent is even like a caricature of himself. He's hilarious.
People suck, dude.
Yes.
People suck. It's fun to watch it after the fact, but when it's happening, you're like, oh, I can't believe it's like, when you told me to send you that video of that dude clutching his pearls.
Yes.
Brendan. I feel like like that every single time. It's like,
Right.
how dare you? You know, I get so aggrieved. Like, well, and I was telling Jean, just like that freaking Burr news. I was like,
Yes.
how dare you, sir? How
Oh,
dare
my
you?
gosh.
But people suck,
do.
you know, I should not be surprised. So,
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
even Jean had posted that on Facebook about the Venice canals, how the dolphins are coming back and the sea life are coming back. And like, because
Yeah,
humans,
and you can see the bottom of the canal. You
Yes.
can see the fish swimming and the water's clean. It's like, oh my
because
God.
humans suck. That's why they're
Yes.
dirty all the time.
Yes,
well, thank God we're
Yes.
demons. Yes.
I know. Humans suck. It's dirty.
Yeah, like I was some movie. It's like I don't remember what movie it was. Was that humans are the worst parasites
Yes.
there are?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, but kind of true though. Kind of true.
They're predators. They're perpetuators of war.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
Too dirty.
Yeah. Well,
Try to
and
do
you know,
better.
I just had told you that big long cytomegalovirus story and CMV.
Yeah.
That's the basis of their campaign. Wash your hands.
Yes.
So we should probably, since we're talking about all of this, this is what we know. We know you should wash your hands.
Yes.
Wash them. Sing that happy birthday song twice. And I think if you look on Twitter, people have other suggestions.
Yes. I think there's a whole set of Prince songs.
Yes.
We
Gloria
s-
Gaynor came on and did I Will Survive.
Oh my gosh.
Like chorus of I while she was washing her hands. So wash your hands. Wash your hands very often. And
Make sure you wipe off that gas pump before you use it.
listen, not touching your face is hard.
It is. It is. I agree.
Yeah.
I
It's
was
the
like,
hardest.
how do you not touch? I cannot go. I'm always
It's so
touching my
hard
face.
this time of year too because it's like allergy time. I've got itchy eyes and it's like so hard not to like want to rub your eyes.
I think it was Carson
Yeah.
Daly and Dr. Oz were on the Today Show, and Carson's like, "Well, I wear contacts. Should I not wear contacts or anything?" She's like, "You can wear contacts. You just got to wash your hands."
Wash your hands. We're back to that.
wash your hands.
We were talking about earlier how we saw those spring break
Yes.
kids and it pissed us off.
Don't get me started.
Don't be
Dude.
those guys. Don't
At the
be
best of
those
times,
guys.
I barely want to be in a body of water with somebody. I mean,
And that's with my own
yes,
family.
right.
I know you people. You're dirty. No, I mean,
they're the kids at the beach are the next wave. The first wave were all the willfully obstinate people our age who insisted on going out to the bar.
Oh yeah, no one's taking away my St. Patrick right.
Yeah, they are. Watch the Mirror City of Chicago do
Yes.
just that.
Yes.
yeah.
I knew it was bad when we were like, nope, all the bars in Chicago are closed on St. Patrick's Day. I'm like, ooh, this is serious.
Yeah, right after that, New York. It's like no St. Patrick's in New York. Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, canceled St. Patrick's.
Oh, yeah. It's a little weird.
That was the first shoe dropping, really.
I was also telling Jean, like, okay, just for the honest, because I keep saying, I was also telling Jean, me and Jean kind of had a pre-show before Angela joined in, that I was watching Stephen Colbert and even Jimmy Fallon. They've been broadcasting from home on their like iPads and iPhones. And I mean, the show must go on, but it's really surreal.
The other thing that I've seen
do the
lately
Late Show
is
like that.
a lot of Broadway people are doing for Broadway Cares. They're performing from their living rooms as well. And Lin-Manuel Miranda has been tweeting a lot of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they did a cut song from there's a cut song from Hamilton floating around too.
That's weird for them. For us, it's not so weird because we're all used to holding up in our closets and checking in with you guys.
I know.
We've been doing this for years.
We're the trendsetters. They're following suit now.
Yes. So, but it's weird to see. It's like
I know.
weird times.
Yeah, and Deb's reading from various books every day on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, they're a little lit fic for my trashy taste, but it's kind of fun.
Hey, there's something for everyone.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm sure. I imagine, hey, Jean, you can start it up for the trashy taste people.
That'd be me.
That's funny.
I mean,
who else? Sierra always, most of the steamier book writers usually do like little readings on Facebook Live when their new books come out. I'm sure we could probably gather together a best of. So, I mean, it's nice that they're doing that, but it's not necessarily anything new.
No, it's not. So I guess this is us doing our part to add to your entertainment or just to let you guys know that you're not alone.
Yes, and I have lots of lentils in my cabinet. So we'll be eating a lot of curried lentils in this household in the coming weeks.
Toilet paper status, everybody?
It says that the order's filled, but it's on staggered shipment dates from Amazon.
That'll speed up because mine was the 27th, 28th, and now it just got sped up to Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's coming Wednesday.
Said April 24th, and now I'm waiting for it to reset, but it says it's filled. Yeah. I'm just laughing because it's like, oh, look, my toilet paper's coming in a month.
Hey, if that's how you got to order it, that's how you got to order it.
Oh my God, I know. And what was so upsetting this week, it's been so frantic and chaotic. I ruined my percolator.
Oh no.
Oh. I spaced out and I'm getting coffee ready and stuff, and I plugged it in. I plugged it in before I put the water in, and the new ones don't have a thermostat shut off.
Oh,
so the coil just heated up all the way and
It fried.
Yeah. So I'm not happy, but it is what it is.
I'm sure they have plenty of those on Amazon.
Yeah, it's better that than setting the house on fire. So I think that's why I'm more mad. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't have a shut off switch? That's scary. So I actually got one of those stovetop percolators instead this time, which will satisfy me because it has a little globe at the top so you can see the coffee shoot up.
See the little coffee shoot up on the top.
I
That's
like
so
that.
old school.
See, yeah, and that made me happier because my mom's plugging her old school plug-in percolator, which also has a shut-off switch, by the way, had the little glass dome where you could see the coffee shoot up.
My mom had one too. It was a Corningware, the white with the little blue flowers in the middle. Yeah, and it had the little glass bulb on top where you can watch the coffee up. I'm like, yay!
Mom had the shiny Farberware. She still has 3 sizes of them, I think. The shiny Farberware ones.
How's your mom doing?
She's okay. They're still open. So I'm kind of worried about that because she's working at the Henry Ford Fairlane Medical Center. Oh. So I got to call her after we get off and find out what's going on, because as far as I can tell, they're still open.
Well, my mom's laughing at us. So how's your mom doing, Angela?
She's good. And it's funny because she goes, if you know anything about me, you know that I always have toilet paper. She's stocked on Dial soap, toilet paper, and plastic bags, as in the Ziploc bag. She always has a ton of those. She's fine. She says she has enough food at least for a month, but I said, just
tell her not to advertise it too much. She might,
right. I don't know. I've watched enough zombie movies. It's like people break into your house for some bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Like me and Hermie are going to be hiding somewhere.
My eyes kind of went, Dial soap.
Yeah.
I had to actually substitute. One of my first trips, they didn't have any Dial soap, so I got Lever. It was between Irish Spring and Lever. I'm like, I'll take Lever, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh, Irish Spring is kind of like
Lever. That's that blue shit, right?
Yeah, it's almost as good as the gold shit.
Yeah,
but it's not as magical as Dial.
Yeah, no, Dial Gold is what you said on her.
Yes. Alchemy episode.
Yeah.
All those eons ago, my goodness.
Yes. The Alchemy episode.
Dial soap.
It's magic.
No, like my normal Costco run, I only go to Costco. Well, I go to Costco for gas all the time, but my normal Costco run is toilet paper, Pellegrino, right? And cat food. I buy those by bulk. So we were down to 8 rolls, and I think we're down to 7 now. That's just for counting.
Getting close.
And I was like, oh shit. And then Angela came on and alerted us, toilet paper, go, go, go.
I'm like, right at this moment, it's there.
It's there. Go, go, go.
Oh, and Angela, breaking news. Pritzker just issued lockdown orders for Illinois.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
starting Saturday.
Shit. Oh.
So
shelter in place.
That again?
Shelter in place starting Saturday.
At least they're giving people a day to get whatever they need to get if they haven't already gotten it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to issue, this is breaking news 45 minutes ago from Chicago Tribune. Okay. So he's issuing a shelter in place order sometime later today.
So shelter in place, what does that mean? You can go to the grocery store, you can go to the pharmacist, or what?
This says residents can still go to grocery stores, put gas in their cars, walk outside, and make pharmacy runs.
Okay. That's reasonable. Totally reasonable, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm doing. That's it. Robert has to go to work, but, this is what I'm doing.
See, this is what's weird. They can go to work if their businesses remain open, especially if they have essential jobs as first responders, sanitation workers, or healthcare providers. Well, it's kind of vague as to what businesses considered essential?
I know FedEx,
okay, let's
UPS,
see.
and the post office. They're considered.
They're
considered part of the supply line.
Yeah, their supply line. Jobs deemed essential in San Francisco: healthcare, grocery store, pharmacists, hardware store, plumbers, electricians, daycare providers, bank tellers, and roles that are essential to a business operation such as payroll and security. Police, firefighter, paramedics, and sanitation workers. That makes sense.
That's all that should be out there.
I know.
Really.
It's like, but the difference between like somebody was in some areas they consider real estate brokers essential. I saw a gal I know out in California. Somehow she's a property manager, and they're saying that she might be considered essential because she runs like a bunch of condo complexes. I mean, it's
to me that's shaky.
Yeah, it starts getting shaky. It's like, I do civil litigation. I don't see that that's an essential function. It's like our courts are closed right now except for criminal arraignments for bond and CPS and one other thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I can do paperwork and work from home, but there's no reason why we should be in the office.
Right. So that shelter in place, it totally provides for all of your basic needs. You can still do things you need to do. It's not like you're locked in your house and you can't get food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you should, get your food and then
Go
Stay in place,
home.
right.
It's like, don't think you're going to go shopping at, the mall.
I'm a shop weekly kind of person. I don't like to buy in bulk or just because we don't have, mainly because we don't have a bulk place like a Costco near us. Otherwise, I probably would. So this is new to me. I've spent a lot of money stocking up on stuff just because I don't normally do that. So it was very foreign to me. And I feel like I hate to sound gluttonous. I feel like I don't know everything I even have because I bought, to make sure I had but even like basic stuff too. Like I had to make sure I had enough Brecken's allergy medicine, because I didn't know what a total lockdown would be.
Right.
Well, and the other thing that's still in the back of my mind is like, well, who's to say they're not going to crack down even more?
Yes.
If they don't get the flattening of the numbers that we all need to see. And we should have all been like kind of dialing back on our own. We're all adults. And unfortunately, you didn't see a lot of that. It's like, you know what? You've always got 3 or 4 people who run it for everybody else.
That's what I told my mom. I said, I did not go overboard on anything. I did not buy too much of anything, but I made sure that I had the products that I needed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go out and just buy stuff to buy stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, I got a lot of dried beans and lentils and stuff like that, but I'm going to use those anyways. Yeah. And those have a long, it was the whole, God forbid we do get stuck in the house and can't go anywhere. And, the grocery stores are put on severely limited hours. We've got enough stuff here to sort of weather the storm.
Bought a chest freezer.
Oh, nice.
A month ago.
Oh, cool.
And this is before, any of this we weren't even thinking about because, I've talked about it plenty. Robert likes to smoke meats. So he buys these big cuts of meats and we just have the bottom, it's a modern refrigerator. It's just got the bottom drawer. But it's like I have frozen strawberries in there. And then here goes this hunk of meat. I'm like, what the fuck?
You lose stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, we need a separate freezer for your meats. And then the other day I was like, glad we bought that freezer, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Then I looked up things you can freeze. You can freeze milk. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You can freeze bread. I knew that.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean buy 8 loaves of bread.
No.
It means maybe buy 2.
It's like
3.
we don't even eat bread, so it's not like, I'm going to run out and get bread because it's going to go. And that's the other thing too. I'm like,
yeah. Another thing I'm doing is going through our appliance graveyard.
Yeah.
And looking at the things like, Angela, you said you have the Breville juicer. We have one in the graveyard. I was like, maybe I should pull that out, start juicing again. Yeah. Because we have a lot of frozen things that we can juice. And I have stuff that is like this week, if I don't use it, it's going to go bad. So I might as well just like throw it in the juicer.
I hear you.
Little Slurpee drinks.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I did with the soup. I'm cleaning out all the vegetables.
Right. It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
So, yeah.
It's a good idea. I should get out the minestrone recipe.
My mom, she's doing everything she can. She's a homebody anyway, so this is right up her alley and not interacting with people. So that's good. But she had texted me, and I'll read this to you. nothing enlightening, but just interesting perspective. She's like, I was thinking of us surviving World War II. We had rationing of certain things and food items like sugar, butter, bacon, gasoline, and even some fruits. Railroads and trains were used for the war front. Fortunately, in those days, everyone had a garden. We canned our tomatoes, peppers, veggies, and beans, applesauce, and made our own jellies. I don't remember ever being hungry. Chicken was plentiful along with beans and rice and tortillas. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
My in-laws in northern Maine still live like that.
It's a good way to live.
They have, like we got their pickled green tomatoes recipes, which is delicious, by the way. So what they do is they have a huge garden and they pickle some, they use some, they chop some up, they give some to neighbors, but it's like a whole mentality that I have never had growing up. Like, no. I mean, my mom had a garden, but it was mostly for tomatoes and zucchini because she loved those and she hated buying them at the store.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, no, I mean, people, you will get by. It's just we haven't had to.
And if people want to still have their comfort of living, they want to have the same standard that they have now, thinking that not having enough crackers or hot dogs or whatever is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. And Asa was like, they ran out of tortillas in Tacoma where he lives.
What?
I was like, you can make those though. I'm like, they're not hard to make. You don't even need like a leavening.
It's like
agent.
2 ingredients, 3 ingredients.
Yeah. It's like flour and water and, and he did it. He did it.
Excellent.
The other day and he's like,
good for him.
It was really good. I didn't know I could do that. I was like, see?
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't know. He likes his tortillas.
Cool. Now he knows how to make his own.
Yeah. Mainly because he's too lazy to use a plate, so he throws shit in tortillas.
Oh, jeez. Sorry about that.
That works.
You okay over there?
Something fell well, I didn't knock it off, I don't think, but something fell off something down here.
Oh. So what are your feelings at this point where we're at?
I think there's still more to come.
This is just the beginning. I do think if everyone does their part, we will flatten the curve. And yes, that elongates it. And yes, it means longer. But because of that reason, I think we have a long way to go. I'm not saying, but it'll alleviate the healthcare system, like you were saying, Val. Not having to have
a ration, ventilators, and ration
or people
care,
not getting care.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying before, and I don't think I said this while we were actively recording, was basically you have a hospital. They have 40 ventilators, let's say, and that's being generous. And you get people flying around like there's nothing going on and everybody's getting sick. Now you have 50 people who are sick and need ventilators. Yep. There's only 40 ventilators.
That's Italy.
Which 10 do you decide not to give the ventilator to? That's where we're at.
Yep. We're right on the precipice of that right now.
Yeah. They said we're about 2 weeks behind Italy. Yeah. And you see how that trajectory is going. So, I mean, not to scare you guys. It's scary. This is scary.
Yes. Very scary.
To me, anyway.
Yeah. I'm scared. But
I don't want to lie and say, oh, it's going to be fine, guys.
Yeah.
Come on, you know me better.
We're all going to have to suck it up and keep our head down and give up some stuff for a little bit. But we'll be here keeping you guys company as long as, God willing, the creeks don't rise and the internet doesn't go out.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine? Talk about clutching your pearls.
Oh my God. How would we binge Netflix? That would be a disaster. That's worse than a zombie apocalypse, frankly.
I think the more that we follow the instructions, that we stay home and only go out for essential things. Now, I mean, I have to wash your hands, and don't be a glutton. Don't oversupply yourself.
Yes.
Leave some for your neighbor. I think we can do this together, but it takes every community doing it together.
We have to get out of the mindset, and this is I'm guilty of it. I know we're all guilty of it. I'm an individual. It's just for me. Everything's about me.
No.
That's because that's the world we've been operating under.
No, we're a herd. We're a herd. We need herd immunity. We need herd instinct. We need to not spread this shit around. Simple as that.
Yeah. Because it's going to take them at least 18 months to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, it is promising. And I don't know what you guys have heard about medications that we have on hand as far as alleviating.
Quinine.
Yeah.
the anti-malarial drugs, which makes me laugh because you all know how much us demons love our gin, which tonics take quinine. It's kind of ironic there. Maybe that's what's keeping us protected. All that gin.
That's right. Just have some gin and water. Call us in the morning.
Have a gin and tonic and call us tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, so Washington Post, I think it was extremely doom and gloom on, it must have been like the worst case scenario because it was, and that's not factoring in medications, vaccines, research, things that we do to protect ourselves, staying home. I mean, it was like if none of us stayed home and we all just went out, I mean, well, like why publish it? That made me really.
Yeah. This is what happens if we all keep being shitheads.
Yes. I think the rollout didn't help anything as far as people's attitudes.
Oh God, no.
That's all I'm going to say about this because we are not a political podcast.
No.
We're not.
We don't want to be ragey.
And we don't want to be ragey, and a blame game is not helpful here.
No, we just need to do what's past is past. We need to know what we can do now. And we know all you guys are of like mind.
Yeah.
So,
and just so you guys know, this is not the future of our podcast. We're just doing this one episode to let you know that we hear you. We're in this together. We're all going through it, whatever emotions. We will be going back to chapters after this.
We need to.
Yes. We need to.
And we'll be doing activities, to keep us all entertained in the group and keep an eye out on our page. We keep sharing things to do there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this
virtual museum tours, you name it.
Well, a lot of them have to do that because they're all closing down.
Well, it's true.
So I was seeing how much space I had left on my laptop, and I looked at these, they can tell you what your big files are. And there's this one file called, well, I won't tell you what it's called, but I went in there and all my Frick museum, remember the auto museum in Pittsburgh? I thought I lost all of them. They're there in that folder. And now I'll tell you the folder name. It's called Later. Like I should have looked at it later. Like I was just putting stuff in there for later. Later is now. I found pictures that I didn't know I had, and I'm so happy that I recovered them.
Oh, good. Were those were the Pompeii pictures in there too?
No, those weren't in there. Those truly did go into the vapor, the ethers.
Okay, I've got those. I've got some of those. So we promise. We keep saying we're going to share them with you guys, but we mean it this time.
Speaking of computer space, I got that 2 terabyte external hard drive to keep our podcast files in there. Because I don't know if the audience knows this, we are going into year 4 of doing this podcast.
And the Book of Life after we get this last chapter episode out of the way.
After we finish these last 2 chapters. And those files, I had a 500 gig hard drive to back up all of our episodes so I can keep my computer clean and running fine, because audio files, especially if you keep all 3 of our tracks and then all the edits and then everything, and I keep all of them just in case I need to recreate it. I'm sorry. I'm just a digital hoarder. I can't help it. But 500 gigs worth of data of just us talking.
Oh, good grief.
So I get on and I tell the girls, okay, I'm buying this hard drive. Just letting you know I'm taking it out of our funds.
Sweet baby Jesus. That's a lot of talking.
I need it, and this is what's happening. So, yeah. I got that installed and we're back to good.
Yeah. So anyways, if you guys need a place to hang out, need a place to talk, make sure you're members of Discussers. And Valeria do we have a queue right now or no?
We have a long queue and I've just been terrible. Buck starts here. I am responsible. How's that?
You are responsible.
So yes, we'll have some time on my hands since all 3 of us were supposed to go to New Orleans next week.
And we're not. We're being responsible. Speaking of being responsible, we're not.
We're not. We didn't want to, though. I mean, so yeah, okay. So to finish my previous thought, I will definitely go through and start adding people into our group. Okay. So the next thought was when was it last week? When we were talking about the trip, I'm like, you know what? This is getting really shaky. And Angela's like, oh, Brad says just to go,
right?
And this is before shit blew up, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's paid for. We're going. That's it. And the next day, my work is like, yeah, DOD has placed travel restrictions on all military civilians.
It's like, oh, we're done.
All domestic travel restrictions. I'm like, okay, I can't go. You guys have fun. Bring me back a Starbucks cup, something, right? The next day, everybody's like, yeah, no, we should shut this down. That's how fast and quick everything just went.
But the whole thing of it was, it's like, okay, wait, DOD just issued that order. Something bad's coming.
Yeah, that's a leading indicator.
That was the leading indicator. If they're telling you guys you're not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere.
And it wasn't like the typical deadlines, like, 2 weeks from now. It was a sizable one.
Yeah, it's like, you guys aren't going, sit your ass down. The order was sit your ass down. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. So we get this thing from the DOD, and it's not secret or anything, I can tell you. The Secretary of Defense came down and said, okay, all civilians, all military personnel and civilian personnel will not be traveling domestically beyond the commuting area. So basically, I can go to Olympia, I can go to Seattle, I can go out to Bremerton. I pretty much have like a 50-mile radius around me where I can go. But beyond that, no, not going anywhere. So I shared that with the girls, and they were like, oh, shit.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm thinking we shouldn't get on a plane. It doesn't sound wise.
Yeah. I was like, normally they'll do that for overseas travel. The DOD, they're quick to do that when things are like, if you have a place that's under unrest.
Yeah. But when they said no domestic leave, I'm like, oh, that's bad.
You mean I can't drive to Oregon? What?
Yeah.
But that's where all the outlet malls are.
We're fugitive.
What do you mean?
Tax free. Oh my God.
What do you mean I can't go to the Coach store?
They've clipped my wings.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That was an eye opener. And that
I'm
was
sure.
last week. It progressed quickly.
It did.
It's
It
like,
really did.
This escalated quick.
Yeah. I just think to a week ago, I was in St. Louis, the only one in St. Louis. But I mean, can you imagine? It was a volleyball tournament, and clubs from all over the country come to this qualifier. And for them, you were supposed to arrive on Thursday, but we got a head start and drove down on Wednesday. So we actually got to halfway point in Bloomington, and they canceled the tournament. So we said, well, do we continue on, or either way, we didn't have a hotel, but I had points that I got a hotel. So we're like, let's just continue on. It's only 2.5 more hours. Things weren't dire at that point. And we're like, you know what? There's going to be no one there. It's because every single hotel was already pre-booked for this tournament. So because they canceled it, nobody went. Because people weren't flying out or driving until Thursday, but we went early on Wednesday. So we went on, and it was a ghost town. There were no one in the restaurants. They were fully functioning. No one was in our hotel. And, but right after we got home on Saturday, it just went downhill as far as cases and closures and shutdowns and everything else. So it just went that fast.
Yeah. Because I mean, on Friday, we were planning on going to the museum to see the flesh and blood exhibit that I had snuck in and saw the week before. And Alan was home and he wanted to see it as well. And I mean, we were literally getting ready to walk out the door and drive over to Fort Worth, and they closed the museum.
Wow.
They opened at 10 and they were closed by noon. They just said, we decided this isn't a good idea.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I mean, even in St. Louis, when we were there, I looked it up, and they had one confirmed case, and it was from someone who traveled overseas and came back.
Yeah.
Amtrak through Chicago. But just this week now, there's, they're up a little bit, but it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's just starting we're hitting the exponential rise, according to Shelley. That's what happens when you have your own vampire scientist on call. She interprets she interprets all the data for you and explains it to you in very, very simple terms, like you're fucked.
Right.
We're fucked.
Hunker
now.
down, we're fucked. No. Wasn't it just like after we all decided, okay, we're not going, this trip is not happening, they closed down Bourbon Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
After we decided.
Day after we decided, they closed down Bourbon Street, and then the day after that was the 45-year-old attorney who was a community-based case and was on a ventilator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is bad. Nope. We made the right decision.
And things change. It's like they're changing their opinions on who gets it. They're changing their opinions on how we transmit it
and exactly
to each other.
What symptoms you should be on the lookout for. So keep current, and this is not a time to hide from the news and social media, because they're learning more and more about what's going on every day. And it's information you need to keep you safe, keep us all safe. Yeah. Don't hide from the news. I know it's scary, but don't hide from it.
It is. That's why we got our little blanket fort here happening. So we can talk this out.
It's easy for me to get into, not a funk, but, I'm a very solitary person. I like to just spend time with my family, and I don't, but I find like even this recording, it's such a welcome relief. It's nice to connect with other people. Even if I don't actively do it, when I do it, it's welcome. It's nice.
Like I shared a meme. It's like, I've been doing I've been doing, what was it, social distancing before coronavirus was a thing. And that's true of me. But the fact that I don't have a choice anymore, it kind of is like, wait, that was my choice before. But now it's like, now it's a smart thing to do. So I do my normal things every day. I do go out and I walk down the hill, get the mail, and sometimes when it's a nice day, I'll walk down by the beach and then I'll walk back up the hill when it's cold or windy or whatever. And I just clean. I listen to music, find the things that soothe you normally. And me, it's music.
Yeah,
I love
it's good
music.
therapy.
I'll listen to it. It's great. I'll sing loud, especially since there's nobody in the house. I don't care. My voice is atrocious. But I don't care. I sound good to me.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And crafting, maybe I'll get back into that.
Oh, it might be time to make some necklaces.
I don't.
Right now, I've been cleaning purses.
I don't even look at this as a Darwinish reset. I look at it as a reset of just taking stock of your life and realizing what's important in it.
Yep. It is important. Like Devin, she says, I'm not coming home. I'm like, okay, well, why not? She's like, because I'm exposed to all kinds of people. She's like, I don't get in the car. I don't drive to the grocery store. I walk. I take Ubers. I'm not bringing that home to you guys. So it's like, damn.
Right.
She's so grown up.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
she's like, my parents are old. I hear it affects old people.
51 and 53.
It does, though. No joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're finding it's like 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, and you know.
This is not an age thing, people.
Robert's had a heart issue in the past, so he's vulnerable, and you know, there's all kinds of things. And he was a smoker for 40 years, and he was, you know, there's all kinds of things that we don't know. So it's just best to.
I'll be safe.
She's just worried about us. And Ace is downstairs. Well, Ace is downstairs in his house, just gaming anyway.
Well,
so.
I was going to say Ace doesn't go.
No change for Brecken or Asa.
Yeah.
What? Something is going on?
How's Kyle in the pizza situation?
Right.
Though?
Yes, it's true.
We don't have to worry about that for a while.
He was worried about the tortillas.
Yeah.
He's got that situation squared away, so he's fine.
I just think of how busy, I mean, everyone's busy, but how busy I was before this with volleyball and here. And it's like, now that we've paused, was it really all that important? Do we maybe want to take a little less when things do resume?
Yeah.
Do less of that and change our perspective and our priorities. And I told you, Harlow's even was getting tendonitis in her knees. It's like, is she going to be different? Is she going to be better? Is she going to have different interests? Is she going to take stock of her or inventory of her activities and want to do something different? We shall see. To be determined.
I know. To be determined.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's like when we were growing up, like you, me, and Jean, we were pretty much free-range children.
Yes.
Right?
That's an excellent way to describe it.
We were just sent out into the world. It's like, come back by this time. But think about all the times we could have gotten killed.
Oh God. Think of the stuff. Just like, let's make this like bike ramp jump across the creek.
Could have and should have been killed.
I mean, even not even factoring in the whole creepy stranger murderer or whatever kind of fact. It's like just the dumb shit stuff we do. Hey, look, jarts.
Right.
I know.
Like, good Lord, let's play William Tell with the jarts. Really?
I'm just thinking all the times we used to play chicken.
Oh yeah,
on the road.
Bumper skid on the back of the bus.
Yeah.
I remember we used to stay by my aunt's in the summertime. My mom would drop us off because she was working, then she'd pick us up afterwards. But we're like, we're going to go and have a picnic down by the lake because she lived like 2 blocks from Lake Michigan. Okay, so we took a package of hot dogs out of the fridge. Someone got some matches from their parents. We walked down the cliff or the bluff that goes to the lake.
Yeah,
what could go wrong? But nothing did though. We roasted our hot dogs, didn't start a fire. No one broke an arm or, took a face plant in the cliff, and we came back. See?
Right. Yeah.
The hot dogs may kill you though.
Yeah, that's true.
We had this store called, it was like ShopRite and Bradley's. There were 2 connected stores. Bradley's was kind of a janky version of Target, and ShopRite was obviously the grocery store. And it was 2 miles from the house. And honestly, my mom would say, okay, go out. I'd take my sister out. She's 7 years younger than me, right? I was 14. She's 7. I'm like, we're going to Bradley's. Whatever. I'm bored. And we would walk all the way over there. Traffic can be damn. Like, it was a main highway area where big trucks would go by, and two kids walking, no big deal, right? Oh, God. But I think about how our kids and how every moment of my daughter's life after she turned 13 was scheduled.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
So that's what she said.
I skated, and my life wasn't quite as scheduled as these kids nowadays.
No. She either had karate, she had cheerleading, she had dance, she had tap, she had, just because we were working so much. And it's like, and I think a lot of our mentality, ourselves as Gen Xers, we were left to just
fend for ourselves so much.
Yeah. And we were like, we don't want our children to go through that. They need activities. They need
And Jean, you had posted something about Gen X, and I was definitely, that was me when a board game, and I would be the opponent and myself at the same time. I beat myself at
some
of those parents became the friend of the kid and started playing with them. It's like, that's not what you should be doing. It should be for fun as a family activity, but not, parents wanted to be the friends of the kids anymore.
Right.
I beat myself at Yahtzee.
Like Legos was my big thing. I'd make huge Lego towers and for hours. My parents hated me because they step on Legos all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those suck. Yeah, so I think the millennials, they're not used to having quiet time to themselves. And I don't like to categorize either. I would just say the younger generation, they're not used to having time
My
to
kids
themselves
are Gen
because
Z
it was
now.
so heavily scheduling.
Having to entertain themselves.
Yes.
That's probably the best way to put it. Any new TV series, Val?
Not so far. Still going through West Wing.
Okay, same here.
Slowly.
We're almost done with Mad Men, finally. Bert's dead. Bert just died, so that's towards the end.
I've never watched Mad Men.
I thought you did.
No.
Okay. Well,
I've watched a couple episodes, but
you were so hot on John Hamm. I thought you would watch them all.
Yeah.
I think he's hot. I just look at pictures.
You need to watch him in action. You need to watch Mad Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, once I saw that picture of what was going down, that person's interesting to look at.
He's packing.
Yeah. No, needs to watch Mad Men. I'll watch it, but I've been watching.
It's really well done.
Always the Witch, which is a dubbed, I think it's a Colombian show.
Okay.
And it's hilarious and it's stupid and it's bad, but I'm sucked in. So
there's a new Martin Freeman show we started watching last night, and it's British, and man, it kind of makes me wince because he just keeps having bad things happen to him. Like his father-in-law is just a ne'er-do-well, the 65-year-old teenager who moved into their house and like has all his friends over and eats all their food and then goes down to the pub and they can't get rid of him. And he's got a clumsy kid who keeps falling down the stairs and they keep seeing the same ER doc and they think that he ends up with social services over at his house. And it's like, it's one disaster after another, and it's kind of funny, but on the other hand, it's like, oh my God, this poor guy. It's like, damn. I think it's on FX.
Did you ever finish watching The Stranger?
2 episodes left.
It's good. Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know. And he looks very good. He did take the message we sent out into the universe about skincare, somehow made it to him.
You know what I've been doing, which is weird?
What?
Because because we've never seen anything like this, and I'm a documenter. I like to, write shit down. I've started keeping the coronavirus files.
Great.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh. Just because, if I get through this, my grandkids will have something to read through.
There you go.
Back when, it's like we were joking in the message box. It's like we've always wondered what it was like to go through, worrying about the ague. Now we know.
We're living the ague.
The damn ague. So, I started taking little notes on the 13th of March. And it was like just notes. It's like, okay, this has been going on for a couple of weeks. School's closing. They closed schools in Kitsap County today. Past week, stock market crashed twice.
Oh.
There's been lies being said. There's no test readily available unless you're fancy. I did write that down.
Yes.
I also said starting this record today, just so I don't forget on election day. Okay, I said I was not going to be political, but that's coming out. All right. Anyway, hope food supplies keep up. We'll shop this weekend.
They will.
Trip with Angela and Jean still on. Going to NOLA for fun. Stay healthy. That's how far back that
my
was.
goodness.
That was on the 13th.
The 14th would be like, no, we're not.
The 14th was DOD travel ban. I'm not going anywhere. RIP NOLA.
Oh, well.
On the 15th, no toilet paper, no paper towels in the stores. And the girls canceled their trips. None of us are going. Then I put a sad face.
Aw.
And then on the 16th, put on an altered work schedule. Pretty much paid to stay the fuck home. The 18th, I will just keep this entry as a note to all of you. Please do not stigmatize this disease or this virus.
Quit calling it names.
Right.
Yes.
Or don't call it names.
It is not a Chinese virus. No.
March 20th, the tax deadline has been moved to July 15th.
Woo! I'm writing that down right now.
There you go.
I already have mine scheduled, my payment to the feds for April 13th. And Brad's like, move it. I'm like, no, let's just pay it. Let's just get it over with. He's like, why should we give them money before they?
That's right. Don't let them make money off of your
That's
money.
true.
Okay. 3/20. Move to July, what?
15th.
July. Okay. And then I got my census thing today.
Oh, I got mine the other day.
I got mine yesterday too.
Speaking of getting things, did you get your shirt?
No.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, you should get it today.
Which is weird because all I got in the mail yesterday was one single solitary census, like almost like I didn't get mail, but they put it in there.
Yeah.
I'll get
It's
it.
on the way.
Yeah. To the occupant of whatever your address is. Yeah. It's weird when you say to the occupant of this address, but federal law.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know if I live here or not. Fuckers. How do you know federal law is going to come get me? Anyway, let's see here.
It's like criminalized junk mail.
Oh, here. Also on the 16th, I said, beaches full of spring breakers, dumbasses.
Oh, my God.
So as of the 18th, cases to date, U.S. almost at 9K. I believe we're over 100,000 now, right?
Oh, boy.
Or over 10,000 now.
Yeah, I think so.
Or 16 or 17. We're up. It's just growing.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, today's entry moved to July 15th. Got it. There we go. And that was my diary story. Yay.
Hey.
Where are we at on time? Oh, okay. So we wanted to close this out sharing our positive observations of this whole thing.
Uh-oh. Positive observations. No, just We're moving on to positive stuff.
Yeah. Jean, you want to start? Things you've seen that were positive?
Really positive is the way everybody's helping each other with the at-home schooling and the way teachers, folks like our Shelley who have taught remotely are, stepping up and helping people who have to create virtual schools in a weekend. Just things like that. All the Broadway Care stuff that I mentioned earlier on Twitter and online. I forget who the actress is, but she has been featuring college and community theater productions who have been canceled. Letting the performers upload their video of them performing their songs and whatnot and circulating those.
That's cool.
There was another one. I think I remember sharing it with you in the chat box. And
yeah.
Unlike the sad picture of the Louis Vuitton store in Las Vegas that's utterly empty.
Oh.
Trying to find it right now.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Well, I think they were smart. They pulled it all out. Oh, I know what it was. We'll put it in the show notes. So the guy who comes and visits his dad at the assisted living facility and sits outside the window and they talk on the phone, but they can see each other. His dad's inside and he sits outside in a lawn chair and visits with his dad, but doesn't come into the facility. It was just a really sweet picture that's made their rounds that I really liked. So there. Cool. That's my happies.
All right. So you know what? Angela's internet just went out.
Oh no. What's your happy? Well, what's your happy then?
Well, let's see here. I have a few.
Okay.
The singing in Italy.
Good one.
Siena, Italy. We're all quarantined way earlier than us. Well, 2 weeks ahead of us. We're 2 weeks behind us. And this video circulated of all the people standing out the windows singing these folk songs all together. It was beautiful.
That's lovely.
I'll put something in the show notes for that so you guys can watch that. It's wonderful. And it's spreading all over Italy. It went from, I think, up by Tuscany down to Naples. Since it's gone viral, I saw one in Spain. One guy was playing the Titanic.
Oh, Lord.
Our hearts will go on. Stuff like that.
Oh, kind of like when we were in NOLA the last time.
Yeah. This is off of Twitter. One of my friends growing up, she was telling a story in a thread. She said a family had to cancel a bar mitzvah. So instead of canceling the caterer, they had them make the food to keep the business going. And they picked it up and delivered the meals to all of the guests staying at home. So I thought that was really cool. Also, I wanted to mention free access to broadband internet for students from Altice USA.
And Comcast.
And Comcast.
For 60
Comcast
days.
is doing that too.
Yeah. Also, one other thing, if you're out provisioning and there's shortages, if there's a little WIC on the shelf scan and there's something else you can buy instead, buy the something else instead, because that's for the Women and Children's nutrition program, and they can't substitute.
The WIC program.
Yeah, the
right?
WIC program.
And they can't substitute. They have to buy
designated WIC products. So if you can buy something other than that, leave that for the folks who are participating in that program.
And this is ridiculous to compare to now that I'm thinking of that singing in Italy. I just thought of the Grinch. Remember when he stole Christmas?
Yes, it's perfect.
And all the little Who's got together and they sang anyway.
Yes, but they were holding hands. Don't do that.
No, don't hold hands.
If you're going to recreate the Grinch, do it with appropriate social distancing.
Right.
Stay the fuck home.
Okay, so we just got Angela back. Yay, guys. And Angela, you'll hear what we said on the podcast. So
not like I would remember now anyway, so that's fine. That's how I find out what we say usually is by listening to our episodes.
So what positive things do you have to share as far as what you've seen?
I don't know what you guys have shared, but I found a little article that says take your mind off of the coronavirus for a few minutes with these videos and memes and threads. And there's just a lot of cute stuff on there. A Today Show tweet was this little girl setting up a work from home station just like her mom. And it's like this little castle and Legos and just really cute. The one that touched my heart too was two music students playing the cello on an elderly person's porch. They were doing a concert for her because she was pre all this lockdown stuff. She was already, self isolating. So that was sweet. What other stuff have I seen? Oh, this one is funny. It was a tweet and it's from Noah Go on Twitter. It says, somehow reassuring in the midst of coronavirus shopping frenzy to know that people still have the sense to not buy # chocolate hummus and buffalo hummus Trader Joe's. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the buffalo and 4 of the chocolate hummus. And I have to say, I didn't buy buffalo hummus, but I bought this buffalo dip from Trader Joe's, and it was not a repeat item I would get again.
Now the spinach and kale dip, that's a repeat item, trust me.
Oh, yummy. Well,
sounds good.
On our way down to St. Louis, we did a Trader Joe's run and got a lot of Jean's recommendations, and they all were 100% repeat purchases. Awesome. But then the trip was canceled, so now we have like $100 worth of Trader Joe's stuff sitting on our dining room table, but it makes for great snacks, when you're in this isolation.
There you go.
Did I see something where, was it Shelley who shared it with us? It was like, I'm either going to come out of this 100 pounds heavier or 50 pounds lighter.
Yes.
Well, and to follow up on your tweet, there was a Twitter thread starting the food left behind, like it's bad, but it's not unsweet iced tea bad. And the whole top load cooler is just full of gallons of unsweet iced tea, and everything else is wiped out at the Walmart.
That's funny. I love it. The one last thing that I saw was Shed Aquarium let their 2 penguins out to roam around.
That was so funny.
So cute. Yeah. And just they're looking at the fish through the window. And I guess they particularly love the Amazon recreation.
Which is extra funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and the other orphan food was the vegan mac and cheese mix.
No one needs that.
No.
Which needed to stay on the shelf.
No one needs that.
No, it's just an abomination.
I don't think I've ever made the powder Kraft macaroni and cheese for the kids, because once the Velveeta cheese sauce came out, that because we grew up on the Kraft macaroni and cheese, so that was like the thing to have was the cheese sauce.
My kids grew up on Velveeta shells and cheese.
Yes, so
I love that.
Yeah.
Now at the when we went shopping, they want the powdered stuff. They love it. They ask for it like every day. But needless to say, I think of Robert every time I make it.
It's the shaky cheese.
The shaky cheese. Okay, so I don't think we shared this with the public show at large, but around Valentine's Day, Jean comes on because I had shared that story about how Robert used to open up the macaroni and cheese boxes just to steal the packets, and I'd be left with a whole bunch of elbow macaroni, which is bullshit, by the way. Anyway, Jean comes on and shares that Kraft Mac and Cheese has put out a big jar of just the powder meant for everything that Robert uses it for. Popcorn on top of your whatever, your pizza.
Yeah.
He uses it for all kinds of things. And in the back of that jar, it has the recipe to make the sauce from this big jar of cheese because it's the same shit. It tells you, how many teaspoons you need, how much milk you need, how much butter you need. So it's just not like you have to measure it out because it comes in a big jar. So I don't know how many people this will help, but they do sell that on Amazon. And I'm telling you, it's not bad. As much shit as I used to give Robert. And he was so happy for that. I was like, Happy Valentine's Day. He's like, that's the best gift ever.
Shaky cheese.
I showed you guys his response on his,
Yes.
I texted him. He was like, oh my God, there is a God.
That is hilarious.
He has simple pleasures, I swear.
It's breakfast beers and shaky cheese. What do you do?
I'm not prepared to create that monster right now. So when I'm shaking the cheese into the noodles, I think to myself, little do they know that I could make this even cheesier if I wanted to. But I'm also the mom that never told them what the ice cream man music was, the ice cream truck music. Like it would play in the background. I would just be like, I don't hear anything. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
What, Angela? Really?
God, you're a mean mom. Angela's a mean mom.
In all fairness, and this probably makes it even worse, actually, is I was the kid when I would hear the ice cream music that I would scream and cry and melt down like they were the Beatles first coming, Oh my God. Scream. Yeah. So I think I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with myself. So I kind of projected it onto them.
Oh my God. That's terrible. And little did you know that Harlow would try to be the watercraft ice cream man.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's pretty bad when, your husband loves dogs, right? So every once in a while when he has to take the truck out to replace somebody or whatever, they see the dogs see the mail truck as the ice cream man.
Oh Lord.
So, because he's always treating, these are the things you're not supposed to do as a mail carrier. Go up to strange dogs, give them treats. Now Robert's just like, come here, little puppy, have a treat. So now he's got him conditioned. So like if somebody goes behind him and drives that vehicle down that same route, they're coming after the freaking truck. And if the mail carrier doesn't like dogs, I mean, how scary.
It's not like the UPS dogs of UPS Facebook group.
Oh, there is such a thing.
Yes.
I should share that with him.
They're great. I mean, and they put pictures up from all over. There's this one guy who's got a pygmy goat on his route that always comes to visit him for a treat. I mean, they're trying to outdo each other now. So it's kind of hilarious.
Funny. That is hilarious. Yeah. So, the mail truck on Route 1, sorry, dude, my husband did that. Oops. Now that all the dogs are chasing you.
Yeah.
Anything else for our audience? I think
we're happied out.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to go back to socially distancing.
Yeah, just hang in there, everyone. We're all going to take this one day at a time. And you know what? I did have one good point. It was a psychologist on the Today Show, and they said, use the win method. And when you start to feel overwhelmed and anxiety coming on or a panic attack coming on, think of win. What's important now? And that should just think of your immediate needs, what is important right at this moment. Don't try to guess what's going to happen tomorrow or in the future or do the snowball effect of, well, if this doesn't happen, then 10 years from now, this is going to be...
Don't borrow trouble.
Yes, exactly. So everyone go out there and win. Find out what's important now.
You know what we can do since we're replacing this with, instead of our normal chapter episode. By the way, our next episode will be the last 2 chapters in Shadow of Night. So stay tuned for that. We are getting back to that.
Yes.
But, we can do the emoji contest today.
Okay.
Let's do that. That would end
Pick a number.
with a happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. You can contact us. Send us your thoughts. Email us at demonsdiscuss@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 360-519-7836. By the way, your carrier rates apply here. Or leave one for free on SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe.com/demonsdiscuss. Now, if you can't remember any of that, go to go.demonsdiscuss.com/contact. And all that information will be there. You can also become a discusser there, fill out the form, and bam, you're a discusser. And the link to join our Facebook group is there too. Visit our main site, demonsdomain.com. And if you really feel like deep diving, go to visit.demonsdomain.com/masterpost. And you can read interviews, geek out with weekly geeks about All Souls Universe. Read about the characters. Keep that geek flag flying, guys. Do you like what we do? Help us fund what we do. Go to patreon.com/demonsdiscuss. Make sure you follow us on social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Demons Discuss. If you're liking what you're hearing and you want to tell the world about it, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We love them. We read them. It's wonderful. Also, it keeps Angela alive, and we need her around, okay? Keep Angela alive! So, Angela, you want to get the numbers for me, and I'll open up random.org.
Yeah. Twitter keeps changing their stuff around. It's hard to find things anymore. Well, it depends what browser you go into. Like Chrome looks different on Twitter than Safari.
Really? I don't use Safari for anything unless I run out of Wall Street Journal articles. I had to cut that out of our last episode because I was like, I really shouldn't encourage people not buying stuff. Because I subscribe to New York Times, but I was like, oh, what if they don't have a subscription and they've ran out of their articles?
Okay, the number should be 21.
Minimum 1, max 21. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Yay! 13. Lucky number 13.
Lucky
Who's
13.
that?
Looking at her profile, at Tina_T. Wyman. Twyman, maybe.
Oh, that's Tina. She just became a patron and discusser recently.
Yay.
Yay, Tina. We hadn't decided what we're given. So
Yes.
do you know what? I will go through and I will get some things for you, Tina. I think I have.
It's going to be a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise, yeah, it's going to be a good prize. But here's the deal, Tina. When you get it and you respond to this and tell us, hey, yay, I won. When you get this, take a picture so we can show the world at large what you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like bragging on our people like
Yes.
that. And on that note, let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Be safe.
Bye. Be safe. Mwah. Demon kiss. That's the closest you're going to get to social.
Right. Wash your hands.
Socially.
And if you can't wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. That's
Yes.
right.
Sparingly,
All right.
though. Make it last.
Make it last.
The distilleries are trying to get us caught up.
By the way, that stuff makes your hands really dry, so have a good lotion, too. Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.